Hello and welcome to Wildwood and Lavender Farm. I'm Carrie and this is my husband Brent. We have 4 boys and we just bought this farm last August, and we thought that we should, as we go into this new year, make a few goals so we can get this farm up and running. So we'll take you around the farm a little bit and show you what we would like to do. One of the things we'd like to do is move this greenhouse. Now it's a cute little greenhouse and it's great for starts, and I just don't like it here.
It's an eyesore.
It is. When we look out behind you guys right over here is our picture view windows of the beautiful hills on the hillside. But this is kind of in the way.
It's right in the middle, kind of ugly.
Yep.
But very functional, so we're still going to use it.
And it doesn't blow away like our other greenhouse
other one did. That's a mess. It's still there.
Yeah. We'll be cleaning it up soon. So anyway, what do you think, Ken? Can we move it?
We can definitely move it. I don't even know how I think it's just sitting on the ground. I don't think there's anything keeping it there really, so we can definitely move it.
Yep. So we're going to move this greenhouse from here to here. So the greenhouse is just an eyesore where it is, as we just said. So I thought that this might be a good area for it. It gets a lot of the winter sun, and then also, of course, in the summer, the regular sun as well. While it does have this tree back here, it doesn't really provide too much shade in this area. Not to mention, I actually want to take these trees down eventually. It's a black locust tree, and the seeds from it, they pop up everywhere, and I hate them.
Yeah.
So it needs to come out.
And the trees that are causing us to be in shadow right now, we're actually going to take those down too, so it's going to get shade for pretty much the whole day.
Pretty
shade?
much.
It's going to get sunlight for pretty much the whole day. And babe, it's just a little bit closer to the house, so in the wintertime when you're trying to get the starts going, it'll be a little more convenient for you. And I bet you like that idea.
I do.
Yeah.
Anything that's closer to the warm house in the
The warm
wintertime.
house. That'll be nice.
So one of the other goals we have is to, of course, plant a huge garden. We'd like to be able to feed our family as much as we can from what we grow. And so while we are going to have a food forest, we also want to have a regular vegetable garden. And so that's gonna be one of our main goals this year, is to plant a huge garden. We're gonna be taking out this fence along here and pushing out the garden further that way so we can have a nice big garden to feed the 6 of us.
How far are we going to push it out?
As far as we can. No, I don't know, another 10 feet or so. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll
that's not too bad.
we'll kind of plant as we go and see how big it gets.
Because when we bought the place, we had how many tomato plants here?
9.
9 tomato plants. And boy howdy, we had a lot of tomatoes.
We got at least 250 pounds just from 9 tomato plants.
And of course we've got what are these, blackberries?
These are raspberries.
Raspberries and so many other things. It goes back there another 30 some feet or so. So this is already pretty big. And then to widen it by another 10 feet, it's going to add a lot of space to grow a lot of stuff.
Now some of it I will be planting in some of our permaculture food forest, some of the more perennial crops rather than just annuals, but there will be mostly annuals planted here.
I'll keep it busy.
Yeah. One of the big goals we have, of course, it's part of our name, Wild Woodland. So I got the name Wild Woodland because I was reading some books about permaculture forests, and one of them says that in England they call food forests woodland gardens, and so I thought that would be a neat name. And the wild is in there because you just kind of plant it, and it's going to take some tending to it first, but then you just kind of let it go. So it's a wild garden, a wild woodland food forest. So this part of our farm is empty fields right now. So we're going to be planting as many trees and plants, berries, herbs, flowers, everything perennial that we can that's food-wise.
And we probably should note, we don't have a tractor. We don't have a lot of stuff, so there's going to be a lot of manual labor.
Yep,
and
a lot of hand-dug holes.
Hand-dug holes, hand-rendered everything. Thankfully, we've got 4 boys, the oldest of which is in his upper teens, almost a full adult. And so that's going to be a big help, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Getting all those boys out here, working the land. And, well, that's another part of the reason why we bought the place.
Yes.
Our next goal is to get rid of these horses. Actually, they're not our horses. We're sort of borrowing them from a local rancher fella dude. And this grass was, well, actually it's hay or whatever. It was at least 30 inches tall, if not a little taller. And then on the back pasture, we had at least 2 feet of grass back there. And so she put a request out saying, we need some help because it's too late to
bail.
Too late to bail and whatnot, too late in the season. But we still got to get it all eaten down. But then they've also left us a whole bunch of manure, which is going to really help, you know, with fertilizing. But lavender is going to be over here, and that's one thing I'm particularly excited about. I'm just absolutely love lavender and the smell of lavender and everything lavender. And that can be kind of odd because, you know, I'm a manly man. And how can a manly man like lavender? But I do. If you ever get a chance to go to Croatia, Hvar Island, they grow lavender there a lot. I've been there twice, so that's part of the history of why I like lavender. But anyway, we're going to end up growing a whole bunch of lavender down here.
We hope 1 to 2 acres.
And then as we get down the way, you'll see in some way future videos a flower garden that I'm going to be doing for my photography as well. And this part I'm really excited about myself.
So I've been interested in growing lavender as a cash crop for about probably 10 years now. And there's a local field that we go to every year, 3 or 4 times when they're open, Blue Mountain Lavender Farm. And that kind of has just grown our love for lavender. And so we're looking forward to having our own field of it to come out and enjoy. And that brings us to our 5th goal, is visiting lavender farms on the other side of Washington, not from us, because we're in Oregon now. We're used to living in Washington. So on the other side of Washington from us is an area that's known for lots of lavender farms, and that's the Sequim area. And it's a place I've wanted to go for a long time because of all the lavender farms. And we want to go and check them all out, kind of see what they do, how they operate.
And just have fun.
Have fun, yes. We all love lavender, so it'll be a fun trip to do. So it's kind of a sightseeing to kind of get an idea of how other people operate their lavender farms so that we can know better what we want to do with ours.
And certainly ours is going to be different since lavender isn't all that we do or planning to do. It's just about getting ideas and having fun with it and trying to see what else we could do with lavender that is different from the other folks, because we don't want to be a copycat, but it's still an industry that we want to be in. So we just want to, again, know what we're getting into really, and how to best go about that.
Goal number 6. These aren't in any particular order, just how we're doing it. When we bought this farm, the people before us had cows in this pasture area, comes along here and along in front here, and then down into a little valley in the back. And then this area was a hay field that they wanted to keep the cows out of while they grew hay for them. So they built this fencing all around it. For our food forest, we don't need all that fencing, so our goal for this year is to take down all of this fencing, because I don't like to walk around from gate to gate. It's all going. Except
we'll keep the railroad ties.
And any of the other wooden posts that might be around.
We'll utilize those in some fashion for a neat feature throughout the property.
for growing vines on, or just as a picturesque thing with flowers or other plants around it.
But to open this up, and then we have a fence going on the back side, and then the fence going on the front of this pasture here too. To open that up is just going to be really nice. Now, are we going to get rid of the fence that's keeping the garden
That's why I said
separated?
We're taking that fence down
We'll
so we can
just
push the garden out.
Take that fence out too, so everything is just going to be a lot more open here, and that's going to be really nice for everything we're looking to do with working the property. But this is probably one of the first things we're going to do, because it's all about planning the everything, where things are going to go, and we just got to get rid of this stuff, don't we?
Yeah, and that's for goal number 7, because goal number 7 is to create a layout for our homestead. So a layout for where we want to put the food forest, where we're going to have the lavender fields, the blueberry fields, where the garden is, and then any other special features that we want, like down at our pond, or maybe we want a gazebo here or there.
And we've got a little place across in the corner where we can cross the creek, you know, something with the picnic area there. Just so many things, and needing to lay it out, needing to get a good understanding of how everything will be spaced, everything will be measured and whatnot. We're going to get some stakes and string and whatever else we need to help us understand exactly how we want to do this, and so we can envision it and really put some thought into it.
And then when it actually comes to planting things, I'm just going to throw it all out the window.
Probably, but was it Eisenhower?
That's how I work.
I think it was Eisenhower that said he never went into a battle that went according to plan. He never, something like that, but he also never won a battle without a plan. So you got to have a plan.
Yeah. So we have another goal on the farm, and that is to get more chickens, although we already have quite a few. We've lost a few in the last couple of weeks, but that's another story. Right now we have about 19 hens and a rooster, and then 3 junior chickens and 14 baby chicks growing. And then this summer we already have some more baby chicks coming, but our goal with the chickens is to have a lot of egg producing so that we can sell a few eggs and kind of fund our chicken venture, fund our own egg supply, if you will. Yes, see, that's how she gets out. Lacey, get down. Come on, get down. Come on, get down. There you go. Crazy chicken. So while we're getting more chicks, this chicken yard is big enough to house them all likely, but my goal is to build a portable chicken coop, because in the lower portion of our field I would like to have some chickens down there, and something that a chicken tractor that we can move around. They can help control the pests and fertilize the ground and keep the grass down and that kind of stuff. So our goal for this year is to build a chicken tractor and get a few more chickens so that we can have some chickens down in that area.
Getting really close to you.
Oh boy, gotta love these chickens.
It's odd, but I do like the chickens.
Our 8th goal is something that Brent is going to be more in charge of than me, so I'll let him talk about it.
So this is going to be our farm truck. I mentioned earlier where we don't have anything.
We don't have anything.
Tractor, etc.
We have a wheelbarrow.
We have a wheelbarrow and 8 arms on our 4 boys. But this is going to be our farm truck with a nice 8-foot bed, and you know, you can get in like there. It's got a steering wheel. You want that. But underneath,
it's got some great features.
Underneath the portion here, that's where the engine is. And the previous owner, you may have seen the video where we pulled it off the trailer. And
if not, I'll link it below.
Yeah, and we almost had a disaster where the ramp was held on by like an
Half an
eighth
inch.
of an inch or less. I don't know what it was. Anywho, this used to be an electric truck. It's from 2002, and the previous owner ripped all the electric stuff out and was almost done with converting it to gas. And so it's got everything but the clutch pedal and the linkage to the clutch itself, to the transmission clutch itself. And then we need to also do a few other things with the electrical. But he had all the diagrams, the wiring diagrams, all the everything. And I was like, okay, we'll try it and see what happens. And the price was right. So we decided to go ahead and go for it. And we'll start working on this here hopefully shortly. I have no idea how long it'll take me to do. But I'm going to be working with my oldest son on this and certainly looking forward to that. But oof, it's going to be a lot of work, I think, just because we're not auto mechanics.
And even though it's not road legal, we're still going to put some signage on it for our farm and
Yeah.
maybe even paint it purple.
We'll paint it something.
Maybe orange.
We'll see.
An orange truck in our lavender field.
Yellow would be better to go against the purple.
But orange is our color. Anyway.
We'll not argue any further on camera. Well, that's about it for this one.
Yeah.
We have one last one to do, two last ones to do. Maybe we can talk about the other one right now.
Yeah.
That is simply just to register the farm as a business here in the state of Oregon, and my photography business and whatnot as well, because, you know, having lived in Washington for 20 some years, we're used to that, and so we just need to figure out the way that Oregon does it, and so that has to happen here pretty quick. And anything else to say on that one?
Nope.
All right, so let's go take a look at the last one, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Our final goal on the farm
Is to get a kiss.
Oh! That wasn't really it, because I get kisses all the time.
Ah!
Our final goal on the farm doesn't really have much to do with the farm at all, except that we have space to do this now, and that is to make an obstacle course, some play equipment for our boys. So we have a source for tires. So one thing we're going to be doing is making a tire jungle gym of some sort. And then Brent would like to make a climbing wall on the side here.
Basically, this whole area, this is on the side of our garage, and it's an RV parking canopy, and so it's pretty sturdy, and the goal is going to be to just utilize this whole space as some kind of exercise, some kind of jungle gym, some kind of obstacle course type thing for the boys, because especially the two younger ones, they really love to get outside and just run like crazy, and so we need a place to get the wiggles out. But certainly what we can do with either a climbing wall or other things like that, there's a lot of other things that can interest the older boys too, and me, and maybe mom as well. And anyway, it's just going to be a lot of fun to transform this space and see what we can do with it.
So those are our 11 goals this year to accomplish at Woodland Lavender Farm. We hope that you'll join us and subscribe and watch all of our videos. We'd really love to have you come along with us. Thanks for joining us.
And tell your friends.
Yeah. Bye.
We're not desperate.